Okay, so for this activity, we are going to be exploring 3 different materials to create a water-like drop sphere. So you will need 3 pieces of paper, and I will get those for you. And you're gonna do your best to fill the space in all of them, okay? So these are just practice activities to help us out a little bit. So the first materials that we are gonna start with are going to be charcoal. So I have some different pieces of charcoal that I will give you. But the first thing that you are going to do, so here, I'm going to show you some of the, so this is what is called vine charcoal, and it's going to be a little bit lighter. So this is what we will use for our base coat. You'll see that charcoal is going to be very, very messy. So please prepare for that. Don't touch your clothes, it'll get on your hands. I'm going to grab a piece of paper to put underneath of it to kind of keep my table a little, or my area here, a little bit more clean, okay? So vine charcoal, then you will either get, we'll use charcoal pencils. I have bigger blocks of charcoal as well, and then white charcoal or chalk that we will use. If you get one like that's a little dirty, just take a paper towel and wipe it off, okay? So to begin, what we are going to do is you're going to take that vine charcoal, that's the skinny one, and just create a light background. So I'm just kind of not pressing very hard. You don't need to fill the entire space, okay? So then from here, I'm just gonna take my finger and I'm gonna rub it off. You can see that it's quite light. All right, so we've prepared the background and we're ready for the next step. Your hands are gonna get messy, like I said. All right, so then the next step is to find something circular. I would recommend just using a tape roll. And I'm gonna put this down and I'm going to take a charcoal pencil and I am going to just trace around. Okay, so then from here, what we will do is we are going to draw a little, like the highlight of the water drop. So it's gonna kind of look like a bean shape. Okay, so just about like that. Then I'm going to take my darker piece of charcoal. So I'd recommend using one of the pieces like this. And I am going to fill this outer edge, but notice I am not going inside of that little bean highlight that I made. So just kind of creating a little, almost like a crescent moon shape here. So then from here, I'm going to lightly, so now I'm not going to press as hard, but I'm going to fill lightly around here. And one of the nice things about charcoal is it looks a little bit messy, but we can always use our fingers to kind of smooth it and blend it out, okay? So, okay, so then my next step here, either just using your hand or go grab a Kleenex from up by the chalkboard. You can just start to kind of blend that down, okay? Or here's using the Kleenex. But I'm doing this, I'm still trying my best to stay inside of that circle, not going outside the lines. And do it in circular motions. Okay, so as I pull this down, I am not covering the entire thing. I am keeping some of it light, okay? So then I'm just going to use my finger to finish the rest of this here. And then you are going to get your white piece and we are going to fill it in here. And then go ahead, use your finger once again or your tissue to blend that in. Okay, now to do the highlight, we're going to put this in here in the lima bean shape. Do your best to fill inside of it. and then you might do a little bit of blending around it, but not a lot. So if some of that comes up, every once in a while you might want to pick this up, kind of brush some of that off. Okay. Then as we start to finish up on the last part, we want to create a little bit of shadowing around the edges. So you might use your charcoal pencil for this, but I'm not going to go very dark. So I am gonna kind of outline this a little bit more, but going to kind of fill this in, maybe use my darker piece a little bit, and then once again carefully blend around, but I don't want to get inside where that light circle is. Okay. So then from here you can continue that by making mini droplets around it. So I would experiment with little shapes, and you're just going to do that same type of process, drawing the little lima bean, start with the dark and continue blending. Okay, so that will be the first one that you do.